That, of course, is violin great Itzhak Perlman, one of 5 great artists honored last night at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. In this half hour, we're going to hear from him as he celebrates his outstanding 50-year career in music. And inside Studio 1A on this Monday morning, the 8th day of December, I'm Katie Couric, along with Matt Lauer and Al Roker.
She has been enchanting audiences for the past 50 years, most recently just last night. Itzhak Perlman was among those honored in Washington Sunday night with a Kennedy Center Lifetime Achievement Award. Perlman has overcome polio as a young man and more recently shoulder surgery. But if it's true that a violin gets better with age, the same holds true for the man who plays it. I was lucky enough to spend some time with Perlman over the last few months.
I always find that anybody that can listen to a piece of music and get goosebumps and start to cry is so lucky.
Itzhak Perlman has spent his life trying to move the world to tears with his music. When he was 3 years old, he asked his parents for a violin. His father spent $10 on a used fiddle, and a virtuoso was born. At 12 years old, you wrote a letter to the Israel Philharmonic.
Yeah.
What did the letter say?
I hereby request that you give me an audition to play, and I have the following pieces ready. Please answer, as soon as possible, sincerely yours. It was a very, very formal letter. Please, give me an audition, And they didn't.
No, but within a year, a man named Ed Sullivan invited the Israeli-born violinist to come and play for America. Since that day in 1958, Perlman has become a world treasure. He's performed nearly 100 concerts a year.
Am I the first name?
Yes,
Me?
Itzhak Perlman.
I guessed it.
Center stage with every major orchestra. There are certain pieces of music you've played hundreds of times.
Yes.
But if you've played a piece of music 100, 200 times, is it different each time?
I talk about this with my students. All right, that's good. All right. That's very nice the way you played it like this. I like that very much. But can you play it differently for me?
With a different rhythm?
No. A different character. So hopefully you listen to an artist and you get a surprise. When you reach the da-da-da-da-da-dee-dee-da-da-da-da, you are there.
His students say he helps them transcend the technical and find the music. He asks them to picture the piece and play what they see.
And then they start to talk, and it's amazing. Oh, I see a forest, I see mist. I said, good, not to play it like that.
Do you picture images when you're playing music?
I see colors.
Music as colors?
I see notes as colors. Each note I see is a color. I mean, if you give me if B flat playing on the G string for me is dark green.
A conversation with Perlman always leads back to his students. In addition to teaching at Juilliard, Perlman and wife Toby founded a summer camp for gifted musicians. Their motto, "Thou shalt learn to play without being tortured." Coincidentally, it was at a summer camp 40 years ago when a young Toby Friedlander heard Itzhak play and knew she couldn't live without that sound. You're not what you'd call a wilting flower.
No.
The first time you heard Itzhak's music, what did you do?
I went backstage and asked him to marry me.
The first time?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said, will you marry me?
Did he think you were a nut?
Yes.
Does she bring something to your music?
Oh, yes. She's the only person I trust. When it comes to my music, she's the only one I trust.
It's important to do.
She will never tell me something that just to make me feel good.
You really have tomatoes that are ripe enough?
Oh, yeah.
When he's not on the road or teaching, you can find Perlman the chef orchestrating lunch in the kitchen, or find him in the garden.
Pepper.
It's not surprising he has a fondness for this place. He applies the same philosophy to his students, slowly nurturing them and seeing them grow.
That, for me, is the most wonderful gift of a teacher.
It was through teaching at camp one summer that Perlman found a new place on stage. in the conductor's seat.
And forte only with a slight little tilt. Much better. Toby said to me, listen, we're going to have a string orchestra. They're going to need a coach. Will you be their coach? So I said, what does that mean? She said, well, you tell them what to do. Well, a coach basically was a code word for a conductor.
In the beginning, he was terrified. And then very quickly, he realized, hey, this is fun.
Today, Perlman regularly conducts professional orchestras like the Detroit and St. Louis symphonies.
It's quite incredible, you know, when you go like that, and they get one sound, and if you go like that, you get another sound. Great.
Musicians, in some ways, are like athletes, and after 53 years of practice, rehearsals, and concerts, Itzhak Perlman's body began to break down. Last year, he was told he would need surgery for a torn rotator cuff. That's a delicate surgery. That's you look at your career and say, how's that going to change things?
Yes.
How nervous were you about it?
Well, I tell you, I was nervous, but I wasn't feeling, you know, it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. It wasn't happening. I just said to myself, you know, this is, look, what is life all about? It's about taking chances. So we did it.
Perlman had originally lost the use of his legs after a bout with polio when he was 4. February's shoulder surgery left him nearly immobilized. But just 5 days after the operation, Perlman was teaching again.
What I want you to do is...
hit you.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Thanks to his surgeon and the guys he fondly calls his physical terrorists, he says that slowly the sound is coming back.
It's all like a jigsaw puzzle. Everything complements each other. I think my playing makes me a better conductor. My conducting makes me a better player. Both of them makes me a better teacher.
And according to Toby, makes you a better person.
Well,
She said you used to complain. You were a complainer.
well, now I complain about out of tune. It's out of tune.
She says you picked up that pencil, you started conducting, and you're the guy she married again.
Well,
I'm
very happy.
Doesn't get any better than that.
It doesn't. It's good.
Kennedy Center honoree Itzhak Perlman.